Welcome to this complete Guinevere guide. Guinevere is, without a doubt, one of the most beloved heroes in Mobile Legends. Her gameplay is among the most fun in the fighter class. Landing her second skill followed by her ultimate is one of the most satisfying feelings during a match. But when it's the enemy team that has a Guinevere, the story changes completely, doesn't it? I'm sure you've been in that situation before. Am I right? Sometimes it's just unbearable. Although she may seem like a simple hero, many players still struggle to use her effectively. But don't worry. In this video, I'll clearly and objectively explain how her passive and skills work, show you her best combos, and finally share some builds and tips to take your gameplay with this true Mobile Legends gem to the next level. Passive. Guinevere is one of the few fighters who deals magical damage instead of physical damage. Her basic attacks scale with both magic power and total physical attack, meaning she converts part of her physical attack into magical damage. Each time Guinevere deals damage, she accumulates energy in a bar located below her HP. When this bar is fully filled, her next basic attack is enhanced, gaining increased range and dealing significantly more damage. When dealing damage with her skills or enhanced basic attack, Guinevere applies a mark on the enemy for 5 seconds, stacking up to 3 marks. These marks play an important role in synergy with her ultimate, as we'll see next. Another interesting detail is that Guinevere deals 25% extra damage to enemies who are airborne, and this effect becomes even more relevant with her main abilities. Skill 1. Guinevere launches an energy orb in a designated direction. This skill has a low cooldown and long range, making it an efficient tool for both poking and cooldown management. Upon hitting an enemy, the orb deals magical damage and slows them by 25% for a short duration. Additionally, whenever the orb hits an enemy, it reduces the cooldown of all abilities by 1 second, making her even more dynamic and consistent in combat. Although simple, this skill is extremely useful for maintaining pressure and setting up combos. Skill 2. Guinevere leaps to a designated area, dealing magical damage to enemies hit and knocking them airborne for 1 second. This skill has a second stage. By using it again, Guinevere dashes in a chosen direction, leaving an illusion at the initial point. If the illusion is hit by an enemy hero, it explodes, dealing area damage and restoring part of her passive energy. This is Guinevere's main offensive tool, allowing her to initiate fights, escape ambushes, and efficiently eliminate squishy enemies. Ultimate. Guinevere creates a force field around herself, becoming immune to crowd control effects and automatically attacking all nearby enemies 11 times over 2 seconds. The highlight of this ability is that airborne enemies are kept in the air and hit repeatedly, potentially being lifted up to 8 additional times. This almost completely prevents the enemy from reacting while taking massive continuous damage. Thanks to her passive, these enemies also take 25% extra damage for being airborne. Moreover, if an enemy with 3 passive marks is hit by the ultimate, they are automatically launched into the air, triggering all the additional crowd control and damage effects of the skill. This combination makes Guinevere's ultimate one of the most devastating and decisive in the game, capable of turning the tide of a fight with a single, well-timed use. Combos. Guinevere has a good variety of combos, but to keep it simple, here are 2 that work well in almost any match and deliver great results. The first combo focuses on 1 versus 1 duels. Start with Skill 2, then use Skill 1, follow up with an enhanced basic attack, and finish with your ultimate. Even if the enemy is already on the ground when you use your ultimate, they will still be launched into the air again thanks to the 3 marks applied. It's a simple, straightforward, and highly effective combo. The second combo is ideal for team fights, where your goal is to apply crowd control to as many enemies as possible. In this case, jump in using Skill 2, and right after landing, cast your ultimate to maximize your area control. Try to hit as many enemies as you can to make a strong impact in the fight. During both combos, you can activate the Winter Crown's passive to boost your survivability in critical moments. Learn to recognize the right timing for each combo and take full control of the battle. Build and emblems. Although Guinevere can deal magic damage even with physical damage items, it's more recommended to use magic damage equipment, as they provide much more useful attributes for her skill set. The only boots worth using are arcane boots or magic boots. Personally, I always prefer magic boots because of the cooldown reduction. Since Guinevere makes great use of her basic attacks, the Starlium Scythe is extremely useful, offering cooldown reduction and hybrid lifesteal. In my opinion, concentrated energy is an essential item in any Guinevere build, as it grants hybrid lifesteal and significantly increases the damage caused by her second passive. If you need more damage, the combination of Holy Crystal and Divine Glaive creates a devastating combo. In tougher matches, the Winter Crown can be your lifesaver. When used together with her ultimate, it can deal a lot of damage while still providing good survivability. The most recommended emblem is the Mage emblem. For the talents, you can choose Inspire or Thrill in the first slot. For the second slot, I recommend Master Assassin, which ensures great performance in the early game during the laning phase. For the last slot, choose Impure Rage. The most recommended spell is Flicker. Since Guinevere often needs to initiate fights, it's common to miss the jump and be unable to escape using only the second stage of her skill. Flicker can be what saves you in those moments. These are some builds I usually use and recommend, especially for beginners. Feel free to use or adapt them according to your playstyle and the needs of the match. Tips to improve your gameplay. Guinevere is a hero mainly focused on pickoffs. During the early game, it's not recommended to force 1 versus 1 duels, as she relies heavily on her ultimate. Instead, start by using skill 1 to farm more safely. The range of this ability makes farming much easier at the start of the match. Her passive is an essential tool in her kit. Whenever possible, keep it charged while rotating around the map so you can make the most out of your damage potential. Practice using skill 2 a lot, as it will be your main weapon throughout the game. Avoid just clicking the ability. It's best to aim manually, and even use predicts to increase your chances of hitting the target. Prioritize attacking squishy heroes such as mages and marksmen. If you manage to hit 1 or 2 enemies, you'll already be fulfilling your role. It's normal to miss at first, but with practice, your accuracy will improve and mistakes will decrease. Be very careful when initiating a fight. Guinevere is quite fragile, so any crowd control can be fatal. Try to target isolated enemies to eliminate them quickly, then retreat using the second stage of skill 2. Remember that to use your ultimate, it's not necessary to land skill 2. You can apply your passive marks with basic attacks and other abilities to get the same effect. Guinevere doesn't rely entirely on her ultimate. Her basic attacks are extremely powerful and can take down an enemy within seconds. That's it for this tutorial. I hope it helped, and thank you all for watching until the end. If this kind of content is helping you, check out the playlist dedicated exclusively to tutorials. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the upcoming videos. Thank you so much for the support, and see you in the next video.